Hi and welcome to another Tabitha's Glass Emporium YouTube video. This one is another Meet the Team. This is Jasmina and we wanted to do a project this month inspired by her and using the fantastic stone murrine that she wanted to make and making this fantastic little stone cottage. So today we're going to show you how we made this. So first I've cut the shape of a house and I made two pieces for the staircase. Now one piece is going to be fused against the house and one piece will go in front. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. So one piece will go like this and I've just put it together with a bit of sellotape, and one piece will go like this. Now just making sure that the height is right, so that then the steps are all at the right height. So if I had a piece of glass, of course I don't right this second, I can quickly cut one, and then it would sit, the steps will sit like so. So I'm using Tector because it's cheaper and because I want windows. Oh man. So I've got to make sure that that stays in place. So I've got that piece of sellotape holding it, which will burn off in the kiln. So I've got this. I'm again going to replace that. I want the roof to do first because it's going to be easier. And I'm lining that up. I'm going to use some pimento red. This is of orangey red. Roofs are kind of pretty orangey red around here. Now we're going to go over the top of this after the powders are tack fused down. Maybe with some enamels, or maybe even putting some things on that look like tiles. We're going to see once we've got these colours down what we want to do. But I'm going to make this sort of slightly mottled, so this is sort of orange going on top. And I'm even going to put a bit more red on top of that. And then just sort of dirty it up a little bit. I've got some slate grey, which is transparent, quite dark. Now I don't want a lot of this, so I'm just going to make sure I've got not very much in the bottom. And I'm just, my technical word, splodging it around. And then that should kind of just darken it off a bit in areas. Alright, so now we can move this out of the way. And we're going to line this up over here. A little bit of orange on there, it doesn't really matter. We're going to go, now I'm going to be using mink. Now mink isn't so dark and it's sort of, I quite like it as a colour. But I'm going to start with mink and then I'm going to go over with some slate. We're tack fusing this, so it will all just tack fuse together. This area is actually going to be behind the other wall, so I don't need to worry too much about getting powders on here. I'm just going to put a bit in case you catch a glimpse of it. Make sure it sort of blends in, but I don't need to worry so much about that area, but getting a good covering. So I've forgotten to put the windows in, so I'm literally going to have to come in here and take as much of this off as possible. Now it doesn't matter so much because we are going to be putting stones on top of this anyway. It's a pity to lose all this powder, but that is going to happen. I might be able to find a use for it. In fact, I might try and bring it over and I'll reuse it right now. So I'm just trying to clean this off as well as I can. And remember guys, if you're using powders, wear a mask. I'm only not because I want you to be able to hear me. We have ordered a new microphone. Hopefully that will come soon. We've tried a few, none of them have worked properly yet. Hold out hope, the next one will. Okay, windows. It's one. Need to make sure they're far enough apart. Two. And three. They need to be far enough apart that we can fit the shutters on. We're not worrying about putting the door on because the door is going to be solid opal anyway. We just want the windows so that we have voids through and that the light will come in from behind, so that you'll be able to see the light. So that's that now. So now I'm going to try and get some of this mink back in. To reuse it. There we go. And off we go again. So we all make mistakes and there's always ways to fix it. Just don't panic. Okay. So this is the mink going on. Now, as I said, I'm going to put some slate over the top. Jasmina was keen to have a sort of darker layer underneath, and then we'll put the stones on top. I've just got a little bit of concern that we've got quite a lot of build up of powder around here. So I'm just going to move it a tiny bit. And obviously now I've moved the whole thing, but and yes, this is going to look a little bit scratchy around here, but again, as I said, we're going to have this stone, so hopefully we won't see it. I've got another window here I can just use to tap this down a little bit around there. Now let's take these windows off. We're going to put the frames and stuff around them afterwards, so it doesn't matter if they're not perfect. It's just getting a good layer of powder on this now as a base layer. So that can go in the kiln like that. I need to put more powders on other things, so I'll show you that and then we can get them all in the kiln. So here I'm just putting again, I've actually got some leftovers of the mink I used and I used from before, and I'm just recycling it onto this. Putting another layer. I've got a door going here, so I don't need to go too thick. Just stick a bit more of the slate over the top. And then this can go in the kiln as well. So this is our wall. I'm just using some of the mix of what we have left on there. It doesn't really matter, just needs a good covering of kind of browny, blacky grey. So that's ready to go in. So I've drawn this shape for the well. I'm going to grind off the corners and then I'm going to try and cut along here and around here to create the arch of the well. For the well, again, I'm going to do sort of mix of these colours on the bottom, and then on the top I'm just going to use the slate grey. It's quite a dark, nice dark colour. In fact, I just want to get some charcoal grey to put on top of that.
It's only black.
Black powder. No more black. Super. Домовити саме затворі братка, please. Wow.
I don't have any charcoal grey powder, so I'm just going to use a little bit of black, really light there. So that will go in the kiln now. So we just got some green here. This is going to be some little plants we're going to do. Just literally putting green. I've got spring green here. You know me though, if I can't just use one colour, that would be crazy now. So, got some olive green, just adding a bit of olive green on top. Tones it down a little bit. And then just getting some aventurine and just pinching and dribbling it on top like so. And then that can go in the kiln, and those are all ready to fire. To do the trees, I've just cut out a template from paper and I've just glued it with just Elmer's glue on the glass, letting it dry, and then I can cut it out using Taurus saw. So here we have our pieces out of the kiln. It's quite pale, but it will be a good enough background colour. We have cut window frames and shutters for the windows. Now, the shutters are slightly too big to fit onto the windows, so we're going to glue those on afterwards. But we want to put some enamel on the shutters and the doors, and also on the trees. So we're going to get the enamel onto the trees, and also just glue the windows and doors, the window frames in place, so then we can get the stonework done. We're also just going to put a bit of enamel on the roof as well. So here we have Tina enamelling the trees and the shutters for this project. Here we are decorating the tops of the trees that have been enamelled with frit to create the leaves. Now we're decorating the house with our murrine stones, plus adding the details to hold our wooden trellis up. And now we are using our olive and olive mix to create the green leaves of the olive tree. We are also going to decorate the well with some lovely ivy murrine. We've added ferns that we've cut on the Taurus saw to the bottom of the trees and some little flowers to decorate them. We wanted to create a flower garden for the front of the project, so we're adding lots of stringers, and this has to be a lot so that the project isn't too fragile, and then flowers on top of that to be the flower garden at the front of the house. We also wanted to put an extra layer of glass on the roof for the roof tiles. We needed to put some powders on a small piece of glass to be the stairs. This layer of powder needs to be pretty thick so the colour is really strong. We created some thin pieces of brown to go on a piece of clear 2mm glass to be the roof of our little trellised area. We wanted to create some window boxes to go in front of the windows. We cut some glass that will slump over a piece of 6mm fibre paper. On top of that fibre paper we've put lots of stringers. We've built this up so it has a really good stability. If there was too few stringers it would be too fragile. On top of that we're putting some flowers. This will go in at a tack fuse temperature, which will let the glass that's off the fibre paper slump down around it creating a little window box. So here it is, all glued together and in the stand. I think this is an awesome project. It was a lot of work, but it works really well. What do you think, Jasmina? Are you happy with your project?
Yes, fantastic project. And thank you, Tab, so much.
You're welcome. Let's put the light on and see it with the light on.
Wow.
Wow, isn't that pretty?
Wow.
I think these 3D details work really well. You can see we've done a little a small piece. This is a short video we've done. So, you know, there's a lot of stone in our big piece here, and that would be a lot of money to have stone like that. You could get us to pull you an individualised murine with a stone like this if you did want to do a lot of projects like this. But if not, you could do a little project just like a window like we've done over here for this little project. I think the window boxes work really well. It's the sort of 3D feel of the window boxes plus the shutters work awesome on this project and on this project. And I love how the roof and the stair detail worked. I was worried that they weren't going to work. I was like, oh, is this going to be okay? But it is. Transporting, I think, is going to be it's going to be a tricky. This whole piece does slide out, but I will be really wary transporting it, and I'm going to suggest to Jasmina that maybe she leaves this and has it in a box. Luckily, she lives very close by, and these can be taken out and transported flat. But maybe this part transported flat as well. It's not something I would ever ship anywhere, that's for sure. It's a fantastic piece that, you know, it's lovely to have her in her, and I hope she'll enjoy it in her house for many years to come.
Yes.
I hope you've enjoyed this video. We have the stone. I keep wanting to say kamen because that's what it is in Croatian, and that's what we've all been talking about. The stone murine available in Excel. We also have a little kit available with all the pieces in this piece, so you can make up one of these yourself. So we've got kind of 20 of those available on the website if you'd like to make one of these yourself. If not, you could just buy some of the stone and make it in colours that you like. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember, you can find all these products on tabithasglassemporium.com. Sign up to our newsletter, like this video, share this video, do all the things that we need to do, so that we get the subscription, so we can make more videos and inspire you to make more beautiful glass. And until next time, happy fusing.